The facts that we know is that the IRS did seize 4473s. It's like a 4-page form that you fill out when you purchase a firearm.
The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. Today's video covers the Second and Fourth Amendments and Sheriff Jesse Slaughter's response to an armed IRS raid that took place in the early hours of June 14, 2023. 20 IRS agents armed with full riot gear and long guns, with the assistance of the ATF and local Great Falls Police Department, raided the owner of the gun store Highwood Creek Outfitters in Great Falls, Montana. The agents from the Internal Revenue Service then proceeded to take all of the ATF 4473 forms that gun buyers are required to fill out prior to purchasing a firearm. These have no income information nor sale price of the firearm being purchased, but they do have plenty of identifying information about each customer, including their social security number and address. Citizens across Cascade County were understandably really upset about this violation of their Fourth Amendment rights, so they turned their anger towards the one person who they thought could help them, the county sheriff. One big difference between regular police and a sheriff is the sheriff is an elected position, and therefore, sheriffs are also slimy politicians. Let's take a look at Jesse's history. I found his campaign Facebook page, and in 2018, he ran as a Democrat. Then in the run-up to his re-election in 2020, however, he started posting a lot about Second Amendment rights for his bid as a Republican. Yet another example of how Republicans love your Second Amendment rights just enough to buy your vote. I don't know Sheriff Jesse Slaughter, but I do know politicians, and those who will do anything to get elected are typically ones with a personal agenda, not an agenda to serve the people. Alright, let's cut to this video where he answers the public outcry. I've gone ahead and translated some of Sheriff Slaughter's political doublespeak. I hope it helps.
Hey everybody, good afternoon. Sheriff Jesse Slaughter, Cascade County Sheriff. And I just wanted to take a minute and I wanted to address last week's search of Highwood Creek Outfitters that involved the IRS and the ATF. I've been receiving a lot of questions about this incident, and I've taken the last week to kind of look into things, and I wanted to address the facts that we know from a local government perspective. So back on June 13th of 2023, the IRS conducted a search warrant at Highwood Creek Outfitters, a local gun store here in Cascade County, inside the Great Falls city limits. The federal government did not in any way notify me or anybody at the Cascade County Sheriff's Office. We did not know that this operation was underway at all until it was already in process. Upon learning about it, I reached out to the Chief of Police of the Great Falls Police Department, Jeff Newton. He was my first call, and I checked with him to learn that he had in fact known that the operation was occurring and that the IRS had briefed the Great Falls Police Department. Now, I want to address a couple of issues here, because from a factual basis, there is a factual belief that the federal government has to notify the Cascade County Sheriff in this event. Technically, that's not true. They should. That would be the preferred thing, so that we have public safety and the proper officer safety. However, we did attempt to pass a law through legislation. It's House Bill 604, if you want to look it up, and take a minute to look it up, where that would be required, and would also be required to get permission from local government. Well, that bill did not pass out of the House, so therefore we are stuck with the law that we have currently. So the facts that we know is that the IRS did have a search warrant. They did go to this business in Cascade County, and they did serve said search warrant. I reached out to the IRS. I talked with their supervising agent in charge, and I was able to glean a little bit more information. One of the information that I was able to confirm is that they did seize 4473s. So to tell everyone what a 4473 is that's that, I think it's like a 4-page form that you fill out when you purchase a firearm that basically has personal information on it, so they can run your NICS background check if you don't have a concealed weapon permit. But basically that's that form that you fill out. In talking to them, I learned that it was the IRS that seized those, not the ATF, according to IRS, and that they were seized pursuant to their IRS-related investigation. So that's the information that I've learned so far moving forward. I have requested further information. I have requested a FOIA or Freedom of Information Act request from the ATF to learn about their involvement, and I have had conversations with the IRS.
Yeah, it looked like you were in a real conversation over there.
The IRS has cited a code. They cited Federal Code 6103 that basically prohibited even myself or the city police department from knowing information like what was in the probable cause affidavit moving forward. So there's not a lot of information that's been gleaned to local law enforcement, and that is a problem, and we are concerned about that, and we're looking to rectify that. I know that people are concerned. I know that people are upset about this, and I know that people have some serious fears and worries about this action taken by the federal government. So far, those are the facts that we know. However, we understand that the federal government has tried to hire 87,000 IRS agents right before this action had taken place. The pistol ban brace federal rule, not law, rule, had taken place right prior to this event and this event. So we understand there is reason for people to be very, very upset as it relates to your Second Amendment. And we are concerned as well. And I want to reiterate that. We are very concerned about it. I will say this. This is another example of the federal government. They come into your community to take an action, and they leave, and they are not standing here accountable to the public. We are. It is very frustrating. I feel in a lot of ways that the IRS and the ATF threw the Great Falls Police Department under the bus. They didn't give them enough information, and now this is the information left, and that's very unfortunate. And this seems to be a reoccurring theme when they cite this 6103. We can't discuss what we're here for. We are not allowed to do that in our criminal investigations. We have to have an affidavit that goes to the public. So these things are very concerning, and at the Cascade County Sheriff's Office, we agree and we understand. What are we going to do? What action steps are we going to take moving forward? So I've been in contact with Chief Newton. We want to make sure that we create policies and things that make sure that we find this information out prior to any of these type events, and that I'll just tell you, the policy of this office is going to be simple. If you're not going to provide us with the information that we need so we understand and we can later be held accountable to the public, we're not cooperating with you or being part of your operation, period, end of story. We're asked all the time to be transparent with the federal government. We're asked all the time to share information with them. Well, that sharing should go both ways. And I think that is a major, major concern. These are the policies of politicians in DC, and these policies have extreme effects on the local citizens of our community, and we take that very, very seriously. I will continue as your sheriff to look into this matter and to follow this matter and do whatever I can legally and ethically from my position to make sure that this doesn't occur again, or if it does, there's some type of mechanism where we can get information out to the public moving forward. As it relates to this particular investigation, I truly don't have enough information about this investigation to comment, nor would I think it would be appropriate for me to give a direct comment about the actual investigation because it is still under investigation at this point in time. However, I think that the federal government actions that have been taken recently, combined with the way this incident is handled, has caused a lot of panic and a lot of fear in our citizenry in the county. So I wanted to address that, and I want to take a minute to talk about that. Again, if anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns, please reach out to us. Our number is on the website. My cell phone number is on the website. So reach out and contact us, ask questions as we continue looking at this matter.
Whew! Translation is exhausting. But you heard the man. He wants to hear from you on his cell phone. Call him, shoot him a text, let him know what you think of his inaction. I bet he'd love to hear from the Freeman people.